It's that time.
Yes, sir. Come on.
You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Come on.
We talking Barbells and Brews in here. Every week talking fitness and how to get this favorite beer. They feature a brew every week. On top of that, give you tips on keeping your stomach flat, looking sleek. Chaz and Gene got you covered on both scenes. You'll be curling 16s and mastering your cleans. You ain't gotta listen to no one else. They mix fun with education to better yourself. What more could you ask for? Hit subscribe if you wanna keep your lifting and drink game live. Your workout lacking, your diet need help. With Barbells and Brews, leave your worries on the shelf, yo. It's Barbells and Brews. Yeah, it's Barbells and Brews, yo. It's Barbells and Brews. Yeah, with Chaz and Gene, you can't lose. Come on.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Barbells and Brews, episode
6.
What's that? Septo?
What?
What is it? What's a sexagon?
That's a
Episode
good question.
hectagon.
I don't know. Nope.
What is it?
I don't know.
Come on, you're a teacher.
Dude, I'm science, not math.
They don't use heptagons in science?
Probably, but I haven't caught it from. Not me. That's later science.
We're going with sexagon.
Anyway,
That's
so
what we're doing.
Your boy is Gene and Chaz.
Yeah, my man. Way to jump in and pick me up.
Episode 6.
6.
Barbells and Brews.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the bizooks.
I don't know what that's from.
In the books. It's
Oh.
not from anything.
Listen.
You know, I went back and listened to our previous podcast where we did the Harry Carey. Yes, I do know who he is.
I like how you're studying up on these.
Well, I'll also tell you something else that in last episode, you remember who was our guest?
My wife.
Your wife,
Yeah.
Cinco de Cara.
So that was a good title.
It was a good title.
That was
Do you
a really
remember
good
what our
title.
beer was?
I do. It was the Modelo Negro, right?
And do you know that they speak Mexican in Mexico?
They don't speak Mexican in Mexico.
What do they speak?
It's Spanish.
I went back and listened to it 3 times. I
And you
said
said
in
Mexican?
the show. I said it in Mexican. I didn't know that's how you remember because we were talking about cerveza.
Listen, this is why we have 2 other people on the podcast, just to make sure you're on the right frame of mind.
Listen, I'm an idiot if you don't know that by now.
Well, that's my fault. I need to check you sometimes.
You haven't
I
been
don't do
paying
that.
attention. You were too busy
Worrying
looking
about
into
how
your
my wife
wife's
was going to feel
eyes.
afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, look at how pretty she is.
Yeah, pretty
know what I
much.
mean?
No,
But-
I was worrying just to make sure I didn't say anything that I was going to have to regret afterwards.
Well, I think it's funny that if you're watching the YouTube video, just over, Kara, lean in and say hi to the people on YouTube. She's here monitoring what Chaz is saying this time. Say hi. There
Yeah,
she is.
It's like Big Brother.
Yep. So she's
Or
on the
Big
other
Wife,
end of
yeah.
this.
Uh-huh.
You think they can see our people in the background here?
You might
Jordan's
be able
there,
to.
Carrie.
Yeah.
All
Got
right,
some training going on here.
so let's take care of our household items first, right?
I'm excited, dude. We
Why?
got our first order in for Tavor.
It is supposed to be
Coming.
here Monday.
Let's go. I'm
It's
so
supposed
excited.
to be Monday.
That's going to be awesome.
Here's my only problem. It's coming to my house. I
So
don't know
they're
if you'll
probably
ever
not
see
going to
it.
get here.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll see it.
No, they're not going to get here.
No, they'll definitely get here. I wouldn't do that to you.
Yes, you would.
No, I would not. If you think I would, you don't know me well enough.
I don't know.
You're going to pay me.
Yeah. Yup, exactly.
You're going to pay for
Yup,
it.
I am.
Listen. All right, so let's start there. Let's talk about the show, who it's sponsored by, where we're at, and what our mission
Absolutely.
is.
Well, I was saying, I'm excited because Tavor, our sponsor, we've ordered our first box there. But Tavor is a online app you can find in the Google Play Store, iTunes, and it's a beer ordering app. So it's a monthly subscription where you can pick out beers and add them to your box, your shipping case, and get those delivered once a month, I'm pretty sure. And the cool thing about that is you can try them from all over the world, specifically the United States, where they do specialty brews, and you can put them in your box, and they'll send them right to you. And if you put in Barbells, you get $10 off an order of 25 or more. So please check it out. Even if you try it once, it's $10 off your first order.
It's good. It's going to be 2 free beers.
Yeah, exactly.
Or shipping.
Or shipping.
Yeah, I think the shipping's $14, I think.
So yeah, so it'll be shipping at the very least.
Listen, you're getting something for nothing. You're making us look good in the interim. The more they get Barbells on the back end of their apps, the more they're going to love sponsoring this show. So send it out there.
And it's also an awesome app. Like, it's just this really cool app to go on. It's visually pleasing. It's easy to use.
I want to stop you there because I was going to say this before you actually said it. You caught something I caught. What beer have you seen that you're not like, holy shit, I want to drink that?
That's the crazy thing about it.
Right?
Like, every single beer I look on there, and there are beers I just don't like IPAs
Sure.
I'm just not fond of, and I see IPAs on there, and I'm like, you know what, I can try that.
Yeah, the cans are beautiful.
Oh, my
Right?
God,
They do a nice
dude,
job.
they're
They really
amazing.
do a nice
They
job.
really do.
So we're talking about Tavor. It's Tavour, in case you're looking. and we get our beer from there. Today we're going to be trying something new. You want to tell everybody what this one is?
Yeah, another local product here at Neshaminy Creek Brewing. I'm pretty sure it's in the northeast of like Philadelphia.
I think so. I think you're about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Up Route 1.
Another independent brewer. We're big on independent breweries on the show, and we want to kind of give them the spotlight. And so this is a nice little wheat beer, a little summer beer that we're going to try out today and give you guys a rating.
And let me put out an invite for people. If you're listening to this and you have a local brewery that you're interested in getting out to the world, call us up, man. We'll drink it.
Yeah.
And we'll
Shout
have you
us
on.
out. DM us on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll have you on. We'll taste it. We'll give you our opinion.
Barbells and Brews Show on Instagram. Just send us a DM.
Barbellsandbrewsshow.com.
Yep. Go on to our website.
All right.
Also hit us up there. Feel free. Give us the recommendations. We want your guys' input as much as possible. So.
All right. So now, I guess now that we talked for 4 minutes about beer and sponsorships, actually, let's also note that we're at Paul Bunyan Fitness in
As
Newtown
always,
Square.
the
As
home
always.
base.
You can probably see in the video, you see above my fat stomach, my beer belly. See what I did?
Yeah, I see you did.
You get my Lumber Game shirt from a couple years ago.
Was that a judge or an athlete shirt?
This one is the judge. It's the first one I participated and I judged it. This was, if you listen to episode 4,
Chris,
this was
that
the
was when
shirt,
you judged
yes,
Chris? That's
this was
awesome.
the shirt I used
That's
to
so
judge
cool.
Strozal, probably back in 2014, probably.
That probably has a lot of sweat stains from sweating your ass off while judging them, hoping that he didn't
Yeah,
kill you
it's
afterwards.
nerve-wracking. More so than actually competing in the open
You're
itself.
sweating more from
I am.
judging
It's
than
no joke, dude. Dude's scary. Nah.
Oh
But
my God.
as you can tell, if you go back and listen to episode 4, I challenge you to. He's a big teddy bear,
Yeah,
right?
he's
Great
a
dude.
great
Great
guy.
dude.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. We're going to start in about a minute or so to start talking about the beer. But before we do, I think because it's just me and you and we didn't get a guest, I think what we wanted to do was kind of recap episodes 1 through 5 a little bit, what we learned, what we liked, what we hated. And also, if there's stuff that you want to hear come out of us or some special segment that you're interested in, again, do what Chaz just said a couple minutes ago. Hit us up somewhere and tell us what your thoughts are. We love the comments. We love the reviews, all that good stuff on iTunes. So I got to go to you. I'm talking a little bit longer and saying nothing because I'm giving you time to formulate a thought as far as
I
episodes
appreciate it.
1 through 5. What stands out to you? Anything stand out?
I think our guest, honestly. I think the fact that we're bringing on guests, we're hearing their fitness stories and kind of their taste with beer is an awesome addition to the podcast. I'm loving that, and we're going to keep doing that. We got some exciting guests coming up,
Yep.
which I'm even more excited about.
Yep.
But I think the highlight has really been the people we've had on the show and some of the input they've been able to give us. And I think the beer. I mean, come on now. I mean, we're tasting.
That's what I was going to say.
We're
was
tasting
beer.
beer on a podcast,
Right.
So we can't really
not a
complain
bad
about
gig.
that. No, it's really
not
not.
a bad gig.
Absolutely not. What about you?
Yeah, I always find it interesting. Like, we work out with these people. We've been here 4, 5, 6 years, and we sweat next to these people in a lot of cases. But sometimes you don't know. Like, it was fun to sit down with Chris and find out a little bit about what's behind him, what he does, the whole story from New York. And remember the story he was talking about? It was funny where he was coming down here when he was still at that old gym, and they were wondering where the hell he was.
Yeah.
They were nervous because he was missing for
Yeah.
2 days a week at a time, and he didn't tell anybody where he was going.
No.
People thought he was making some kind of, who knows? Who knows what they thought? But I just think getting into people's spaces, your wife, when she was here, and she still is here, we can't get rid of her. When she was here, we got a little bit into her background and where she comes from, and I learned a lot. I just like learning. That's my MO, always been my MO,
Continue to learn.
Always.
Yeah.
And I like people in general. I know I'd probably mess around and say I don't like people. In the morning before coffee, I certainly don't.
Like everyone else.
Yeah, like everybody else. But I do like people, and I like learning stories and what people got, what people are getting out of what they're doing on a daily basis. It's nice to see what
Absolutely.
people's motivation is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I think that's what we set out to do here, was to talk about beer and rate beer and have this kind of be the fun-loving fitness show, but at the same time, get some people on this, have their voices heard, and especially for the people who go to this gym, they want to know more about the people they're working out with, and I think this is a cool little platform for us to do it.
I'm loving every second of it. It's been fun. I feel like we're growing pretty well together.
Absolutely,
It's getting more comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You're learning the technology side pretty quick.
Dude, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it with you.
I think listen, social media is killing it. I love it. So I think we probably should touch, we can kind of talk a little bit more about the history of what we've been through so far. But it's just been a short history. It's only 5 eps in.
Yeah.
So we're hopefully this is going to be around for a long time. We're going to get a lot more to talk about. But
there is something that I wanted to talk about too before we got into much.
are you going to be ready? I'm going to get nervous if you say what I was just going to ask you. But go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I was no. It's a beer related story.
Okay, good. Never
Did
mind.
you hear about Dogfish Head being bought out by Sam Adams?
I certainly did.
Well, we got it. I
We need to
I
brew our own
lost
beer.
it when I saw that.
We need to. What was it? 300 million?
Yeah, and they were given money in Sam Adams stock.
Really? So here's my thing with that. I am not a Sam Adams fan.
I wanted to get your opinion on this.
I'm not. Up until today, I've been a big Dogfish Head fan.
Wow. Okay.
So I wonder what that means.
You
And
know
no
what?
disrespect to Sam Adams, their beers are very hoppy, and I've just never been. I can't do most of them. Like they're typical, they're staple beer.
Yeah.
If I have 2 of them, they give me a headache. Like
Oh,
I
wow.
just can't drink them. It's not like I don't think they're good beer. Because
Yeah.
clearly they are.
Yeah.
I mean, they're one of the biggest breweries in America for sure. I just can't drink them, so I'm not a fan, and I don't mean that with disrespect.
So, ironically enough, we were purchasing our beer for today's episode, and I was walking through, and on its shelf of own, like Dogfish Head Brewery,
Yep.
a bunch of their beers, and I couldn't help but think, what are we going to see? Are we going to see the same beers popping out, or are we going to
Well,
start to see a change?
Yeah, no, I'm curious. I was thinking the same thing, and I'm also thinking, Dogfish Head has 2 bars. They have 2 bars down in Delaware.
Do they? We need to check that place out.
No, one's actually on the beach, and I've been
What
trying.
beach?
Dewey. I want to say Dewey, Delaware. We'll look it up. We can actually.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll look it up while we're talking.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they have these 2 bars where it's the brewery, but they serve food like Victory,
Oh, that's awesome.
like that. And so I've never actually got. There was one time where I was fairly close enough to actually try and get there, but I was short on time, so I never made it. But I've always wanted to go into that, and so now here's what I'm wondering. This is the thing that came to my head. I wonder if Sam Adams has enough money behind them, and I know they do, or if they have enough money in their budget to start making a Dogfish Head Brewery chain. Like we're up and down the East Coast, they make those restaurants.
Well, that's the thing. Like, as soon as you hear, at least nowadays, I feel like a lot of people, when they hear something's being bought out by something bigger, it automatically changes, right? And not necessarily for the better. I tend to be a little bit neutral because I think that cash injection, is something that can definitely prop up that company even more so and give them more of a name, and give them more cash flow to be able to experiment a little bit more.
Well, they certainly bought them for a reason.
Yeah, right?
You
Well, no,
know?
Dogfish Head, their beers are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they're just such a high-quality brewery. And I think that, like I said, if the changes are for the better, I'm excited for that to kind of happen down the line.
I am
So-
too. I it's not going to be bad, whatever it is. And the cool part about it is, even if Sam Adams gets rid of all the Dogfish Head lines, there's so many beers out there.
Which
I'll find
they-
a new
which
one.
they won't,
No,
though.
I know
I
they
don't-
won't.
yeah.
I know they won't. But I'm not even that concerned about it. I am looking here, Brewings and Eats, and so this one, Rehoboth Beach.
Rehoboth Beach.
I think that's the one that's on the beach, the one in Rehoboth.
Wow.
And there's another one down in Delaware too that's not on the water. It's like I don't know exactly. We can
I'll have
do a
to
little
check
more
it out
research.
this summer. We'll
But-
have to make a trip down that
Yeah,
this
why
summer.
not? Hey, listen, if Dogfish Head's listening, maybe we'll call them and do a show from down there
Yeah.
and have them
I'll
serve us
reach out.
flights
I'll
of beer.
reach out via email or DM them and see if they want to.
Actually, let's do that. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Why not? Can't hurt.
No.
Take a trip with the ladies.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple other people will bring a caravan and we'll go down and bring Barbells and Brews to Delaware.
Spend a day at the beach.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, so now I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that we're 13 minutes in and I'm dry.
We got to get rolling.
So do you want to start talking about this? And again, I don't have my phone, so why don't you actually pull up
Absolutely.
the app? You want to pull up Untapped?
Yep.
All right, and I'll start pouring the
Pull
beers.
out our trusty Untapped
So while you're doing
app.
that, let me put this down. You're going to have to fill the airwaves with your brilliance.
with my
Can you do
brilliance.
that? Well, because I'm going to be away
I
from the mic.
can, absolutely. So, just looking up our beer. So, this is a Neshaminy Creek, again, northeast of actually Croydon, PA. But again, another like smaller brewery with a lot of high quality beers. The beer we're having is it's a Bavarian beer, which is like a German specialty. Nice, like summery beer. Got like almost like an orange amber color. So it's a true style German Hefeweizen with hints of banana and clove on the nose. So I'm definitely interested to try this. I've had a couple of their other ones, Gene. So
I like the Neshaminy Creek.
yeah, I'm
Wait,
big on
hopefully
some
you
of
can hear
this.
this. Ready? Oh,
Uh-oh, is it spilling on you?
just a little bit.
A little bit. That's fine. So it's 5.2.
All right.
IBUs aren't known.
All right. Yeah, and don't read the rating.
Okay, no, I'm not.
We're gonna give a surprise.
We
rating.
never get into that. So a Hefeweizen is amber in color, 50% malted wheat. The flavor of Weiss beer comes largely from the yeast. Has some banana and clove, like I said. Weizen means wheat. Hefe means yeast. There are multiple variations. Filtered versions are known as Crystal Weizen, and darker versions are known as Dunkels, which I've had a couple. I didn't know that.
Dunkel, yeah, I like that.
So Dunkels are like a darker.
Can I go in?
You can go in.
I'm going in.
Go ahead.
It's
What do you think?
so. First of all, it's gold, right?
Gold,
It's golden. The
yeah.
color of it is really gold. It's stronger than I thought. Like I thought it was going to be a lot lighter than it is, and I don't taste banana, but you smell it. So when you first bring the glass to your nose, I definitely smell the banana. I caught just like almost like just a real quick whiff, whoop, like that.
You know what's interesting? I taste the banana.
You actually taste it?
Yeah, I actually taste the banana. You're right though. It's more gold than amber. Not if we're being hypercritical here. You're right though. More bitter than I thought a beer like this would be.
Right? Got
For
me more
sure.
in the back of my tongue.
Yeah, for sure.
More than I thought for sure.
Well, I think I definitely can taste the clove. And you know what I like about this beer though? It's got a lot longer lasting palate. Like I'm tasting this way after I've drinking the beer.
I am too, but like in my esophagus. And that's not anything against the beer. That's me.
That's just how you taste the beer in your esophagus.
No, this one for sure. Like I
Yeah.
can feel it burning, going down. It's not a bad thing, but I can certainly taste it. It's more of a
You talk more about how it's burning going down, Gene.
better than burning coming up, I guess. Right?
Can probably do that too.
Yeah. No. Well, I'm not going to have that happen. So.
I want you to rate it today.
That's why I told you don't read the
Yeah,
rating.
let's we're gonna flip the script here a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, and have Gene do the rating because usually he's put me on the hot seat. So I'm interested to see what he's gonna
All right,
say.
so I'm going to hold off on it for a minute.
gonna
I want
hold
to
off?
drink it while we're talking.
Okay. So
Because
back to
I'm sorry.
No,
I
go
do
ahead.
have a number in mind, but I want to give it an opportunity to open. You know?
all right. I'm thinking that might be a little lower than I'm thinking then.
No. Oh, maybe lower than you're thinking.
Yeah.
It's not going to be terrible. Like I like it. I definitely like it. I will tell you, 4 degrees colder would be way better.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, you're hit the nail right on
Right?
the head, dude.
If it were like ice cold, it would be, I think, a lot better.
absolutely.
Right?
If this was sitting in there for a little bit, absolutely.
I don't know if he got hurt. So Jordan was throwing around. What do you got on that?
A lot of weight.
315.
A lot of weight.
On that thing. That was that big bang you just heard, probably.
Yeah. Yep.
315. That's what we're doing at the gym. We're obviously at the gym.
Listen, lifting the weights to drink the beers.
That's where I love it. All right, let me ask you this. This is where I was going to go. So this is what I thought 5 minutes ago before we broke the beer open. This is where I thought you were going to say. I wanted to ask you a question, and I said I hope you're not thinking about the same thing I was.
What were you thinking?
There was a pre-show thing we talked about a couple weeks ago that we never got to, and it was regarding health and fitness.
Okay.
And you're going to have to come up with it because I can't remember the lady's name, but it was the runner.
Yep. Yeah, so we actually wanted to talk about the controversy behind Castor Semenya, who was a female track athlete from
Yep.
South Africa.
Yeah.
And prior to us filming the last podcast with Kara, the news had just broken that her suit or her challenge to a rule was negated or was turned down.
Let's back up.
Yeah.
You give a little bit of the history because I was unaware of what was going on.
Yes, let me give you a little history. So Castor Semenya is a sprinter, Olympic sprinter, who medaled at the last year's or the previous year's Olympic Games. She represents South Africa, and Castor Semenya is female bisex, and she has elevated levels of testosterone, giving her a more masculine appearance.
Oh, wait, let me stop you. Because there's a question that the first question I asked you.
Okay.
If you said female by sex,
Yes.
what does that mean?
So when
She was born a girl.
she was born with the female genitalia,
Okay.
saying that
So
she
no,
was,
what I was getting at is not transgender, not a guy that became a girl, none of that stuff.
no.
Okay.
No.
Well, I mean, I think we got to lay that down because
Of course.
for me, the first thing I
To
thought
the best
was,
of my knowledge,
right.
and from what I've read and what I've followed from her, she is female.
Well,
Her sex is female by
Don't you
birth.
think that's an important element of this argument? Because if she was a man
Absolutely,
that was
yep.
a woman, we're not talking about this.
No, exactly.
Right?
And I think that's
So,
a big
I'm
thing.
sorry,
to
so I didn't
talk
mean to
about.
cut you off, but I
No,
want
no,
to
you're fine.
make sure we're clear in the water. But so go ahead.
So she has higher than normal levels of testosterone in her body, which give her a more masculine appearance, as well as, I would like to say, a higher percentage of lean muscle mass.
Okay.
So she's extremely muscular. Like
Yep.
she is, I would say, more defined and more muscular than other female runners in her category. And so she dominated the previous Olympic Games.
Right.
Unfortunately, afterwards, the Olympic Committee or the IOC or whoever the governing body was at the time said in order to continue to compete against women in her category, she would need to take hormonal therapy or injections
To
reduce her testosterone levels to make her more comparable physiologically than other female runners.
Understood.
And so she challenged that by basically, I don't know if it was a suit or whatever, she brought it up. She basically
I'm
said,
sure she appealed the decision.
yeah, she appealed the decision. That's a much better way to say it. And they denied it.
Wow. So in other words, in order for her to compete next time,
She's got to take hormones
to
lower
suppress
her
her
testosterone.
to.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right. So the question then becomes: is it ethical? Is that what you should do? Like, all right. So,
Well, let's talk about what our initial thoughts were, because I think it's important to kind of start there.
well, my initial thought was it a guy first? And was she a guy first? That sounded awful. Was she a guy first? That was my initial thought, because when you lay it out, because that changes the whole argument. Because my thing is, if you were a man and are now a woman,
By sex.
yeah. If
Yeah.
you're born a man by sex,
Yeah.
and then you become a woman, you shouldn't be able to compete with women.
We're getting into a rabbit hole of
Yeah.
that whole talk, which is fine.
Yes.
I'm cool with rabbit holes. I like that. But
And we can discuss that
Yeah.
later, but my thing there is that I think that's an open and shut case. It's not an open and shut case
No.
now because here's why. Here's what I'm thinking. As asinine as the rule might be, it sounds like there's a rule in the Olympics that testosterone has to be at a level or lower in order to compete, and hers is higher. Even if it's natural, it's higher.
that's what I've perceived from what I've read and
Yeah,
what
me
I
too.
think.
Me too.
I
but-
could be wrong, or we could be wrong on that.
No question. Well, there was a ruling made, regardless if we're right or wrong. There was a ruling made that her testosterone was too high.
Yeah.
In order for them to say it was too high, there has to be a gauge or a baseline, right? So my
believe so.
thing is that rule for me on the surface is total bullshit. Because
Okay.
if that's how you naturally are,
Yeah.
and you fit the criteria that these are women running,
Yeah,
and she's a woman, she should be able to run.
I totally agree.
All right?
Yeah, I
Well,
totally
that kind
agree.
of makes this conversation boring that we totally agree.
Yeah, that's why I was saying before, our initial reaction was I actually agreed with the IOC's decision to tell her to do that, which is ironic given a lot of my progressive and liberal beliefs on things. So I originally was like, well, yeah, like I feel like it's fair. I feel like at this point she's at an advantage. However, after reading more about her and her experiences and how this whole thing came about, and I actually had read something about Michael Phelps, and Michael Phelps actually has a naturally higher lactic acid threshold,
Okay.
which means his muscles fatigue at a longer duration. So, for example, if you're doing 10 push-ups, your chest might burn at 5 push-ups. But for Michael Phelps, his chest might not burn until the 9th or 10th one.
Right.
And that's a natural for him.
Yep.
But apparently that was never an issue for Michael Phelps when he was swimming and doing what he was doing at the Olympics.
Probably because his lactic acid was never an issue that came up that they had to put in the rule book.
Yeah.
Right? So
Could see that.
somewhere, I'm only guessing here, but somewhere down the line, somebody won an event that had too much testosterone, and so they had to gauge what a fair level of testosterone was in order to compete, right?
Yeah, you know what's cool? You know what we should do? We should have Kara be our medical check. And so anytime that we're like not 100% accurate, we just go to Kara, and she just can go like that or like that to us.
Go. So have you been listening at all? So they can't hear you, but you've been listening? And so she's got shit face on right now. Do you see that? She's got a little bit of shit face, which means she doesn't agree with one of us. And being that we agree, I'd have to say that she doesn't agree with either of us. Is it a yes or no? She's saying yes. Shit. We need another microphone.
Which is ironic, though, because
You want to come over here and get in my mic?
we both believe that she has a naturally higher testosterone, and there was nothing changed in her physiology. So it's not like she was taking hormones. It's
Right.
not like she was taking steroids.
Well,
It's
so
not
that
like-
would be that's my question, right? So maybe the IOC or whatever the commission,
whatever governing body is
Yeah.
in charge of that.
maybe there's a way. Maybe testosterone levels are an issue because there's a way to increase them without much. What's the word I'm looking for? Without leaving a trail. How about that? So maybe they came to the conclusion that, and again, I'm only guessing, but maybe they came to the conclusion that she could be altering these levels, even though people are saying they're natural. She could be altering these levels, and there's no way we would know. And so if
That's a
she
good
comes
point.
in higher, we need to suppress it. I guess. Listen, again, I'm only guessing.
That's a good point. I didn't think about it like that.
Well, this is where my head goes. You want to laugh? This is how sick I am in the head.
Here
This
we
is why
go.
I'm sick.
Yeah, please tell me.
No, this is why I'm crazy, because I'm trying to liken it to something, right?
Okay.
And you know, in Seattle, you're not allowed to have sex with dead cats. Did you know that? That's actually a law?
No.
It's a law.
I
So what does that tell you?
Someone just tried to have sex with a dead cat.
Right. And they went, no, you can't do that. We're going to put it on the books. And that seems to me like what may have happened here. Why did they come up with a testosterone level?
That's like
that
some of
you
the rules
can't
we
be
have.
above?
Yeah, that's like some of the rules we have in the gym, and they're like, why would anyone do that? Well, because someone has done
Somebody
that before.
already did before you, and so now we got to go, listen, you might be 43 years old, but listen, here's the best part. So my next question was, well, are you allowed to have sex with live cats? Right? That's logical thinking. She's over there shaking her head.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about here on Barbells and Brews.
This is great, Barbells and Brews. We work out so we can drink the beer, and I haven't had enough beer yet. No. Let's get back to base. Listen, if you listen to this and you know me in my real life, you know I'm a total asshole. So it's fun. These things are fun to talk about. If you cringed a little bit, good. I got you. That's great.
Seriously.
But I think that, and to make the other point, I guess this is the rabbit hole we could go down. If she was a man that opted to become a woman, and this would be another whole argument for another episode, I would say it's not fair for her, as a woman now, to run against other naturally born women. Sort of like it wouldn't be okay in boxing, like it wouldn't be okay in
Yeah.
name
No,
your
I
sport.
understand what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that comes off to some people as like, I don't know, sexist or whatever you might call it.
Yeah, insensitive maybe a little
But
bit.
listen, if that's my daughter in the ring against somebody like that, I don't want her fighting that person,
No.
right?
I get it completely.
You know,
I mean, especially when you put a personal touch and you're saying if your daughter was boxing against someone who was transgender and they were taking hormone replacement therapy and they were coming from female to male or male to female and they haven't added increased testosterone where their muscles are bigger and they're stronger.
Yeah.
Just pound for pound, they're stronger.
Yes.
Yeah, you have a concern there because you don't want your daughter to go up against this person who is already stronger than your daughter. Yeah, I get it.
Listen, whether you agree with transgender or whatever it ends up being, by default, in most, not my case, but men are built different than women.
Biologically, yeah. Yeah.
And biologically.
Biologically, which in turn makes them physically different. Yeah, of course.
That would be
that's science. Like that's science.
yeah?
There's no
We're gonna get
debating
in
that.
so much trouble for this episode. I can't wait.
I'm fine with it.
You are?
Yeah.
All right.
course.
The hate is gonna come.
Listen,
hate-tastic.
Listen, you're not doing anything right if you don't have haters.
That's right. That's a good point, right? If somebody doesn't hate you, there's not enough people listening.
Exactly.
All right, so good.
But
so I still I'm really intrigued to get your wife's opinion because now we dug that hole. I sort of want her to curse a little bit, and I want to know what her thoughts.
Well, you know
are.
what? I'm even surprised because my wife, like in the previous podcast, had said that she's a feminist and she is very vocal on women's rights and things like that. So to hear that she disagrees with us being upset
I'm actually
at the
intrigued.
decision to deny her.
So what do we do? How do we get her the mic?
I don't know. I at this point, I think we need to rate the beer.
Damn it, we
'Cause
didn't
we
rate the
haven't-
beer.
we
I'm glad
haven't
you
done
brought that
that.
back because I would have forgot to rate the beer.
Yeah. So I think we need
I'm
to
going to
rate
rate the beer so that she can get on the mic. Come over here and sit and stand next to your husband. I got a bone to pick with you. Let me do this first. Let me think. So now that I'm 3/4 of the way done this bad boy, I'm going to say that this was. You want to try some? If she does. Oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't believe it.
She's not going to like it
Go
at
ahead,
all.
take whatever you want. So Kara is internationally known for not. Oh, she's making it. She hates beer. Go ahead.
It's banana.
Like the smell of this. That's why.
It's because
She
it's
hates
banana.
beer, but she likes the smell of
She's
this.
going to
All right,
hate
let's
the
see.
taste.
Nah. Oh, she made a face. Not as bad as the last one though.
No.
Not as bad as the last one.
No, last one you were hardcore.
Yeah.
I got
This
some
is
great
this is
screenshots of that.
This is better.
Wow.
Look at this.
Better.
We're getting Gene. We're improving.
Well, I heard, you know what I like in this too? When I was 16, the first sip of beer I took, I hated it. But you
But
force
my
yourself
wife
to
is
like
my,
it over
but
time.
my wife is 28.
Yeah, but
Gene.
she's only starting to drink beer now. She just started recently. No, is that not true?
I tried.
That's not true.
I tried.
You
All right,
did try. I give you a lot of credit for that.
Hold on. Let me. So we need your rating, and she's
I'm
over
going
here.
6.8. I'm going to do a 6.8 on that. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna be 7.3.
Wow, you went higher.
I
and
like
listen,
it
I
a
think
lot.
I actually think I'd be okay at a 7.
I like
really
it a lot.
Would. You
Yeah,
do.
I like it a lot. Yep.
You do. It did get better as we drank it.
Yeah. You
There's
want
no
to know what Untapped has?
I do.
3.64. So that's
7.2, 7.3 almost.
7.2, 7.3.
7.28?
Yeah.
So you nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, you sort of.
Well,
that's why I
saw
don't
it.
want you to look at
I
it.
saw it.
Yeah, you gave it
But
just about the same.
I just agreed with the rating because I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, I like it. Maybe we need a second one
Yeah, I'm
while
gonna
we're
pour it.
talking.
I'm gonna pour it,
You
so-
pour it. Let me talk to your wife. So, all right. So, for the folks that didn't listen to episode 5, get on it. This is Kara Dombrowski, Chaz's wife.
Hello.
And she is. State your expertise, please. Why did your credentials? Thank you.
I am a physician assistant, and currently I work in orthopedics.
In
and I
orthopedics.
consider myself a feminist. So,
All
I'll throw
these-
that out. So that'll play into it too a little
All right,
bit.
I love it. So let's just real quick. We'll get right to the nuts and bolts. You were making faces. You were cringing a little bit. What about what we were talking about? Did you not agree with, or did you agree with?
I agree. I agree with the natural selection play on it
Okay.
in terms of Chaz was saying about Michael Phelps, his naturally higher lactic acid threshold. I do believe that there's, it's that whole like survival of the fittest, and there's going to be people that are naturally more inclined. However, you also bring up a great point about because someone did this before, they have to say, no, you can't do it
Right,
again.
There has to be a rule put in place. Yep.
It's tough, and I mean, I think the thing that I made a face at was the Michael Phelps thing. I started to think about it. I was like, well, that makes sense though. It's like if you're born a female and you naturally have higher testosterone levels, why not?
Right.
It's
Yep.
like that's only benefiting you. If you have an XY chromosomal pattern and or XX, it's XX chromosomal pattern, then you're gonna be a female, and yeah, so that's what I was kind of just like, I kind of want to jump in, and like I do agree with what they're saying and stuff, but I do agree with the fact that if you were born a male and you transitioned to female, I don't think that is appropriate, because absolutely I would not want to get into a ring with someone.
Oh, see, that surprised me. I thought you were going to go the other way.
Yeah,
with that.
no, because I mean, it is science. Like testosterone and men have more muscle mass, and I as a female do not.
Right.
I'm not going to get into a ring with him. I can't lift as much as a guy. It's just a fact.
Yeah, and listen, there's also the history of nature nurture, right? Nature versus nurture.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, forever, men are killers, and women are mothers, and it has a lot to do with your makeup, your composition, your psyche.
Yeah.
And again, we're not talking 100% of the time. There certainly are exceptions to the rule. I know there's plenty of women out there that would beat the living shit out of me. My
Oh,
wife.
yeah.
My
Oh,
wife,
absolutely.
If she got mad, I'm done for her.
Yes.
So I get that element of it, but
Yeah.
I'm surprised you took me on. I thought you went the opposite way on both of those. If I had to guess and we were betting, I would have went the opposite way on both of your thoughts there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you learned something new.
This is the best part
This
of
is
this podcast.
great.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
for your medical expertise.
Oh, I tried. I don't know if it's fully right, but
You did a great job. Opinions
Or like assholes. Everyone has one.
and
Sometimes they stink.
always.
Always.
No, they always stink.
Well,
Wow.
here's the thing. I wanted to bring up just real quick.
Okay.
So, she was born with XY chromosomes. So that confirms her sex at birth is female.
Okay.
Um,
so you did a
male.
little research while we
Sorry.
were talking.
Male.
Wait a minute, what?
We got a bombshell.
Wait, so she's a man?
So, following her victory at the 2009 World Championships, it was announced that she had been subjected to sex testing.
Oh, whoa.
She was born with XY chromosomes. She has 3 sisters and a brother.
So wait, we're 1,000% sure XY is.
I mean, this isn't a verified source.
It's not.
It's not.
What site is it on?
Wikipedia.
Oh God. I may have written that in there last week.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, I think we need to do a little research then. That's very, very interesting, and I'd love to hear feedback if anybody has. I mean, listen. Regardless of what if she's a he or a she, it doesn't change our arguments, right? It doesn't change.
Well, I think it changes. I think it changes a little bit of my argument
Why? Tell me
because
why.
if her sex is biologically male,
Yeah.
she should be competing with
Men. No, that's what we said.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we said.
Okay.
She should not be running with women
Okay.
if she was formerly a male.
Yeah.
And if she is a female and her testosterone levels were high naturally, she should be allowed to play with the females. Right?
Yeah.
In summation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't change anything we said. Now it's just a matter of, is she a woman that's a woman? Or is she a woman that used to be a man?
That's the thing, and I don't think there's. At least I haven't seen that there's any
Well,
clear
that's
cut.
kind of important.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
That's a little bit important. All right, so we're going to have to do, for episode, what is this? Episode 6. For episode Septo, what's 7? We're bringing it all back.
God, Gene.
What is 7? No. Like in an ogram. Septogram.
Like
Septagon.
There you go.
Episode Septagon. She's like, listen, remember in episode 5 when we talked about your resting bitch face? It's no, it's active. No, she said I have it.
Okay, so hold on. So
All right, we're going.
listen to what
We're doing
about to
research
say.
as
Yep.
we play this
So
game. I love it.
on May 1st, the Court of Arbitration for Sport, an international court for sports, ruled against her. Its decision covers only athletes with one of a group of syndromes known as 46XY, which means that a person with a male Y chromosome and high testosterone does not develop male genitalia. So she. So I would say, so her sex is male or female. I mean, that's the thing. Is her genitalia male or female, or is she intersex? I mean, I think this is.
Oh, wow.
We're.
Oh, man, we got to start doing some IOAC or IOS, whatever the hell it is. We got to do some research.
We do because
This is pretty. It just got a little deeper all
yeah,
of a
it
sudden.
did.
That's a
It
little
did.
weird.
Yeah. See, I was on there, and that's kind of where I was coming from with her being born female, is because for all intents and purposes, I didn't hear or read anything about.
No, and everything
her
I saw
being-
led
Yeah.
you to believe it was a girl. She was a
Yeah.
girl. I keep saying it. That's terrible. She was a girl.
Yeah.
Right?
And then seeing that she was born with the XY chromosome, it's crazy. Like, we could get into things on here about chromosomes and then physical appearance and like genitalia at birth. There's a lot.
There is a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
But I think it's good that we talked about it, and I think that it deserves some publication, you know?
Wow. Why not? I mean, it's a big thing. I mean, we talked about, the Me Too movement and everything that's going on, and there's all kinds of stuff in the last episode. So going back to our recap.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of things we've talked about, and in sports and life, there has a lot to do with sex, sexuality, how you feel as a person, if your feelings are hurt. There's a lot of topics we could cover, and there are always the ones that I like are the ones that are fire starters. That's one, a lot like religion and politics.
Mm-hmm.
We could bring 10 people in here, and there'd be 14 different opinions,
Yes.
And I think maybe we just found the new direction for our show. So
Could
from
be.
a health-related perspective and a beer perspective, because the beer thing, I gave it a 6.8, 7.0, and you gave it a 7.3.
Yeah,
Different strokes, different folks.
absolutely.
All right. So, look, we're at 38 minutes, man.
Yeah,
Once again, it's been wonderful drinking beers with you.
as it's been wonderful with
And
you.
we're going to say cheers to your health. And actually, we didn't toast when we cracked the beers for the first time. We hope you're enjoying a brew with us while we're doing this.
Yeah, and
not in the car, though.
no, not in the car.
Not in the car.
But let us know your thoughts. If there's a comment you wish to add to some of the things that we've been talking about today, please do send us a message.
Even if you're hating.
Comment, yeah.
Send the
listen, yeah. If I said something wrong, like I screwed up X, Y, which my kids, not that my kids will listen to this show because I'm a science teacher, my kids would crucify me for that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's got to do with. I'm just going to toss it up to the beer and not my ignorance. But
I'll give you that.
yeah, I think that let us know. Tell us what you think.
Do it. Give us all the hate. Give us all the love. And by the way, if you are so inclined, get out to iTunes and give us the 5-star.
Yeah,
I think I said the last.
you can give us a
podcast.
hate, but just give us the 5-star.
Yeah. Give us the hate offline.
Yeah.
Give us the love online.
Yeah.
So barbellsandbrewshow.com. Check us out there. What's the Instagram again?
Barbells and Brews Show.
Barbells and Brews Show on Instagram. Hit us up on both of those.
Yep. Check out Tavor. Get your order in. Get your box in.
Don't forget Barbells. Is the
Don't
code.
forget Barbells. $10 off, 25 or more. If anything, get a box. Get a free shipping on some beers. Try them out. I think you won't be sorry for sure.
We thank you for listening. We love you. And cheers to your health
And fitness.
and fitness. We out.
We're out.